Hi, thank you for joining me. This video is for people who are learning English and would like to improve their listening in English. We're going to watch a video called A Fishmonger's Guide to Fresh Fish. You can search for it on YouTube or find it in the description below. You're going to watch that video and listen for the fishmonger's top tips for choosing fresh fish. After you finished watching it, come back to my video. I'll tell you my answers and I'll explain why I chose them. Then we'll look at some of the language we heard in the video. All right, off you go. Watch the video and come back for the answers. So here are my answers. The first top tip is about how a good fish shop should smell. The fishmonger explains that if you can smell the fish, that's a sign that the fish is old, that it's decomposing, so you should leave. A good fish shop doesn't smell of fish. The second tip is on choosing fresh fish, and here the fishmonger talks more at length. And here the fishmonger says that the fish should look sparkling. The surface of the fish should have a nice glaze to it. The eyes should be clear. There should be some blood behind the gills. He talks about rigor as well. Rigor as in rigor mortis, the stiffness of the body shortly after death. A good fish should feel stiff, not because it's come from the freezer, but because it has only recently died. He explains it should be stiff and gives an example of it being like an ironing board. The eyes should be clear, the gills should be red. He talks about some different kinds of fish, dovers, lemon sole, and talks about how they should look. But the general idea is that the fish should look really fresh. It should look a bit like it's just come out of the sea. It should be stiff and still bright. The third tip is on keeping fish fresh. So you've bought your fish, and it's important to buy fresh fish. After that, what do? The best thing is to keep it on ice. Get some ice from your fish shop if you can. Otherwise, keep it in a cool fridge. He says it's best to be kept at 2 degrees below. And that's how to keep it firm. Now, some language. So here we had a fishmonger working at a market, and he's talking to the camera. It's just him talking. It's a monologue. There is some editing, so there might have been some preparation in it, but it's very informal. He's talking, I guess, with a local accent. And it's more colloquial British. So we hear things like, for example, at 50 seconds, subtle, as in subtle, with the glottal stop. You hear that again in getting old. You hear some dropped sounds. So for example, slimenim, meaning them. You also hear the word summit near the end, 2 minutes 56. Summit meaning something in colloquial British English. But on the whole, it's very informal. It hasn't used particularly difficult vocabulary. You probably know almost all of these words. New ones perhaps might be things like rigor, the names of some of the fish, perhaps the word fishmonger. The style, because the fishmonger is speaking to people who are perhaps watching TV at home, there's a lot of repetition, kind of painting ideas in their heads, adding little details, so that they, at the end, they come away with a good impression of how to choose a good fish.